So what happened recently in my life? Because apparently, these episodes are now inspired by things that happened to me. Not really happened to me, but it's just like, I guess it's always just something is on my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I want to record an episode of Minecraft. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to turn my fan on here. Yeah, there's like a faint humming, but anyways, what has been weighing on my mind recently that I want to talk about here? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I feel like every episode, I feel like, am I being too personal, right? And I'm like, and I watch episodes back, and I'm like, why was I saying a lot of that stuff, But I don't know. I feel like it's good. It's good for me. It's good for me. It's good. I've been liking the direction of these recent episodes, especially last episode when I was talking about. I guess that's how I'm gonna I'm gonna do a little recap. Yeah, last episode I talked about, being a youth in publishing, yeah, Chloe Gong's post and all that, but yeah. Yeah, basically, like, all of those thoughts I had, like, near the end of just, like, right, of how, like, pursuing traditional publishing is just, like, what I want to do right now, and, like, I don't know what the future will hold, right? I don't do any of us, honestly, right? Oh, man. I'm not that type of person who has, like, a 5-year plan, okay? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I think did I talk about, no, I don't think I talked about it, but, anyways, on being too personal, I had, like, somewhat of a follow-up tweet thread, yeah, again, Twitter, I'm on it, like, so much, especially when these, conference final games end up being blowouts. I have to check Twitter between commercial breaks, so yeah. Yeah, fix that, NBA. hopefully the finals, presumably between, like, the Warriors and the Celtics will be good. Man, yeah, banner 18, by the way. Anyways, I had a Twitter thread basically, like, related to, like, the youth in publishing thing, but not really. Just going in a different direction from that, being like, it's just made me think, it's just a follow-up of being like, even though, like, I'm on the younger end, even though I'm, like, pretty damn young in terms of, like, publishing and, like, being a quote-unquote, like, aspiring author, even though I'm on the very young end of that, I still, I don't know, I still think of, like, and how I want to pursue traditional publishing generally at a really young age. Like, I still think about, the perspective of, like, having success young isn't everything, right? I know, I do know that, okay? I guess this is an addendum to the previous part, that, like, like, being successful young isn't everything. It really is not, Again, like, what I said in the tweet thread, it basically is just, like, parroting advice from people, right? But it's, like, it really is true that, like, your life value, your life worth isn't determined by what you can accomplish early, like, it's not a race, it's not, like, a lot of times it might feel like it, right? Like, I'm saying all these things as advice, but as if I'm, like, giving advice, but it's like, I feel a lot of the same anxieties myself of just, like, I want to get this done young. I want to accomplish this time by this thing by this age. I want to do this by this age, like, I don't want to be old and have nothing to show for it, I'm just like, in anything, right? Career-wise, education-wise, it's just like always wanting to, like, rush through life and just be like, wanting your fantasy, your desire to be like a young hotshot, right? Of just like, I got published when I was like 22, or just like, I don't know, just other things. It doesn't have to be. I'm just using publishing because that's, like, the field I'm generally, like, I don't know, having my eye on or, like, have interest in, but it could be other things too, right? Yeah. I mean, but, yeah, I guess it's like, social media really like makes you see a lot more people and a lot more people who might be going through life faster, Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah. I guess this also is a thing that uh 2022, it's the spring of 2022, right? And generally, like, yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but like, yeah, I mentioned this in the previous episode that like if I was like on track, with my, education, right? I would have been, graduated by now, you know? I know the whole thing of like that like a lot of, college students don't get a bachelor's degree in 4 years, like in 4 years like only, but it's like I don't know. It's like yeah, on Instagram, I saw a few, a couple of my classmates at least, like post, their graduation photos, and I'm really proud. I'm really happy for them, but it's like, yeah, I guess I was just like thinking about that, Yeah, that actually spurned me to write the Twitter post of just like, I don't know, just more of a thing to say to myself that like, yeah, like to me, when I feel that anxiety of like, oh man, why haven't I graduated yet? Haven't I done anything really significant with my life yet? Like, am I running out of time? Which is kind of just such a ridiculous thing to say at like such a young age. And it's like, yeah, no, it's fine, right? It's fine. You just gotta take time to appreciate uh life sometimes, yeah, like that's the thing, like, accomplishment isn't, you know it isn't, I don't know, it can be fun to brag about like doing things young, but it's like, yeah, sometimes you actually need like, yeah, some things actually, it actually is the better path to have more experience, right? Yeah, and yeah, like I know it firsthand because it's like, yeah, obviously, I didn't have the interest in like wanting to be traditionally published until I was 18, right? And it's like, yeah, like I feel like like my writing has evolved and like changed a lot in just like 3 years, 3 years going on 4 years since then, right? It's like I wouldn't want to find success that early. I really wouldn't want that, I wouldn't have, I didn't, that's the thing, right? I tried querying my first book, but, I guess it's not dead yet. Like, I haven't made the decision to, like, quote unquote, like, shelf it in terms of, like, not query it and, like, declare it, like, done in terms of trying to publish it. But it's like, I think it's mostly like, I'm focusing on my second one now. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that tweet thread was just, saying stuff, being like, feeling a little like, I don't know, missing out, having feelings of missing out, having those like, insecurities and anxieties, of just like, I haven't really done much, and being like, it's fine, it's like honestly, it's fine. Like, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. Like, I'm fine. Like if obviously, like, I wanna obviously, yeah, graduating is like really important to me at this point in my life. But it's like, yeah, like I literally stated in the tweet thread that it became a little less of a priority because of, what happened recently and what I talked about last episode. And yeah, it did. I'm just gonna say that right now. It really is. It's still a priority, but it's a little less of a priority. Oh man. Oh yeah, I remember in a speech class. Oh god. Yeah. Do I need to say everything? It's just classes I've taken before, right? I'm not gonna take the class again, but it's like in the speech class I talked about before, one of the assignments was we had to do this thing called a personal mission statement, and like, I don't know, it's a bunch of like terms, right? It's all through the frame of like using terms from the textbook and like 7 habits to formulate your formulate your response, right? But it's like, yeah, a personal mission statement, yeah, like my teacher defined it or something, is just like what you feel like your your purpose, or I don't know, what you feel that you're meant to be doing or something. I don't know. Like what your biggest priorities in freaking life, I think. Yeah. And I was too honest in that too. Like, I was too honest, and I was like sharing, like, you know what, I actually have like made decisions, to like give myself more time to write, and or like, just stuff along those lines. And in the personal mission statement assignment I had to write, I literally wrote about that. I literally wrote like, I literally wrote something to the effect of like, my interest, is my interest in, taking classes has kind of been a bit less, right? I don't know, to word it one way, right? Yeah. And I also made that like, yeah, I remember I took like a logic class, yeah, where like a logic class is where it's where you study like argument or something. You don't, not really argument. We studied like logical fallacies, and like, what makes a valid argument, what makes like a sound argument, like a whole class dedicated towards that. And like, there was a writing requirement in that one too. And like, the paper, we had to do a paper proposal, and the paper proposal I submitted was, yeah, was it? It was like, originally it was supposed to be like advocating for, more students out of high school to pursue, like, to not immediately go and to try to think of more options than just going to a 4-year college, like, like what I'm doing, vocations, trades, stuff like that. But, yeah, he I think my teacher shot it down. And then, yeah. Yeah, and then, he suggested that, like, because my reasoning for submitting that proposal was that, like, I was inspired by my lessening interest in of, like, I've been wondering myself if college is worth it, right? And then he should just be like, why don't you write your paper on that? Yeah, and that's what I did. Yeah. The title of that paper, by the way, is, like, a pun. Yeah, the last chapter of House on Mango Street is called Mango Says Goodbye Sometimes, and then I titled the paper, My Future Says Goodbye Sometimes. I'm not making this up, man. I'm not making it up. I literally did that. Oh, man. Yeah, anyways. Oh, God. The tangent. Did I finish the thing? Yeah, my personal mission statement, I talked about not being as interested in school as I once was. And then I basically, said somewhat of the same thing in that logic research paper, right? But I talked about other things too, of just like the value. Yeah, it was more just like the value of going to college in this day and age, right? And I talked about like student loans, and just, yeah, that's one of the things. I could go back to my Google Drive and reread it because I still have it. Yeah. Oh, man. Just normal things. Anyway. that was all like branching off of what? Yeah, just me telling myself it's okay that I haven't, I haven't accomplished what other people around me have accomplished already, right? Like, it's okay, to be honest. Like, it's fine. Everyone goes at their own pace in life, right? Like, I would be fine if I, I don't know, if it takes me until I'm like 25 or 26 to like graduate, right, with a 4-year degree, like, I'm fine with that, honestly, right? Like, it's just, I mean, I think for that to happen, I'd have to like really extend it and like change what I want to study a few times, right? I've already basically changed it a little bit. Yeah. I think you can probably, suss it out. I don't need to say it, but anyways, yeah, I guess that was just one thing on my mind. It was an addendum to the finding success in publishing young. The addendum was just like me telling myself it's okay that, yeah, you haven't really, it's okay. It's okay that I am not, I am not a Zoomer New York Times bestseller, okay? That has already been accomplished. I do not need to accomplish that, okay? Yeah, again, like specificity. I could be the first Filipino from from this specific part of Southern California with who wears glasses, who talks, who has like my certain voice, whose favorite band is Block Party, whose favorite cartoon is Avatar: The Last Airbender, whose favorite anime is Nana, who I don't know, went to this specific high school, who I don't know, like didn't pass the physical fitness test in freaking middle school or high school, who ran like a 9 minute 35 mile at the fastest, right? To I am the first one with all of those things to publish a book. I am the first one of that, so please, yeah. Ah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that is true, by the way. Yeah. Oh, God. Man. Look, man. PE? Oh, dude. What is with the... Okay. What is with the presidential fitness test? Why do we have it? Why? Honestly. What is its purpose? I okay. Like, honestly. I just don't understand, yeah. Was it like the meme of like this is the physical, the pacer, the pacer thing is a physical fitness test, whatever, something that, remember that meme? Yeah. What were the aspects of the physical fitness test? It was the mile, push-ups, sit-ups, and it was the trunk lift. Yeah, I think so. Like you had to be like. Yeah, you had to show, okay, in order to pass, you needed, what was the mile time? I think it was like 8 minutes. I think it was, it might have been different for boys or girls. I think for boys, it was like 8 minutes. Like, it was like, it was either 8 minutes or like 8.5 minutes, somewhere around that, to pass the physical fitness test. Yeah, and like, yeah, okay, so the trunk lift was just like, I think you laid on your stomach and then you had to like lift I'm like kind of simulating it right now. You have to like lift your arms. Yeah, you have to extend your arms like fingertips out. Yeah, like all the way. And then you have to like lift your legs with your feet sticking out to the back of you. And yeah, I had to like hold it for like 30 seconds. And it like burns. I think so. And then like push-ups is like, obviously like, yeah, they judge form. And like sit-ups, it's like you have to do a certain amount. Like I did sit-ups, so sit-ups are fine. But it's like, oh man, dude, do you know what one of the most demoralizing feelings in middle school or high school PE is? Like when you see like the other kids being able to do a perfect push-up. And then, like, you just can't do one, Yeah, the whole thing of, like, yeah, okay. Just recounting it, like, a perfect push-up is, like, when your arm is, like, 90 degrees perpendicular. And it's, like, PE teachers who were judging for that physical fitness test had no sense of leniency whatsoever. It was literally just like your arm, it's literally you do one, and then all they do is like all the way down, push it, all the way down, Your arms aren't 90 degree, arms aren't perpendicular. Oh man, oh god, oh my god, all the way down, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. That is just one of the most demoralizing things, right? And it's like, do you know what, like, the worst part is? Like, like, I'm not the most overweight person, but it's like, look, man, it's like, how do I politely word this? You have the heavier set kids, you have, like, look, man, you have the fatter kids in PE, and it's like, and it's like these PE teachers, like, they probably know in their minds that, like, they're not gonna frickin' pass it, they're not gonna do the frickin' things, they're not gonna do the things, be able to do the things nearly as effectively, right? And it's like, they still have them do it anyway, right? It's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously it's like, what else can they do? But it's like, just the fact that it's like the PE teacher, iron. The PE teacher has to like sit there with their clipboard or something, like having to judge, like, you know, these heavier people, just like these heavier kids try to do a push-up and then still do like good lower, all the way down. It's like, come on, man. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. It really is a tale. Just like, why do physical fitness tests exist, right? Of just like, why? Honestly, why? You know? It's like, I get it, like, you know, healthy kids and all that, but it's like the physical fitness test does nothing. It does nothing. You know? Joe Biden, get rid of the presidential fitness test, please, man. Oh man, all it does is just embarrass kids. Like, that's all it does. That's all it does. Like, honestly, right? I don't know. Oh man, oh boy, oh god. Jesus Christ. Just, yeah, hopefully I brought up some like horrific freaking memories, yeah. Did I talk about that, of like PE? Yeah. Just PE in general, it's like, yeah, it's I have a thing that like I don't know if people have the same experience, but like middle school PE is definitely the worst, right? Like elementary school PE is like, you just go outside, you just do a few jumping jacks, you play dodgeball, you play soccer maybe, you play kickball, right? You do the parachute, you know? Ooh, I wonder if kids still do the parachute. That was fun, man. Oh my god. Just when it's like everyone just like goes up, everyone just like brings it up and then like shakes it around and like people can go under, man. Oh man. Oh no. Look, man, I'm talking about positive things today, okay? I'm trying my best. Don't expect me to talk about things that you think like, oh, has he heard of this? It's like, come on now. I'm on Twitter, okay? That's your answer for do I know about a thing, right? Please, just check what I like. Just check what I like on Twitter, okay? Just do that. Anyways, parachute, you know, the parachute in freaking, you know, elementary school. And also, like, where did they get that parachute anyway? Like, where did they get it? Is it just a thing that, like, it's a weird how it's exactly the same rainbow parachute? Like, every elementary school has the exact same rainbow parachute, right? Like, no matter what. It's never, like, a solid color. It's always rainbow. Oh, man. I wonder if there are, like, kids today that, like, look at the parachute and are like, why is the parachute a pride flag? Why is the parachute pride colored? It must be nice. Oh, man. Again, I'm not doing anything in the game. I found iron and I didn't have a pickaxe, so I ran away. Anyways. Yeah, it's just like, oh, God. Anyways, yeah, middle school PE is the worst because, I don't know, it was just my experience, man. Yeah, I don't know, there was just some things, it's always just like, yeah, because in middle school PE, it's like, I feel like the teachers, like, really try to get you to actively participate in what they, in the sports or whatever, right? And it's like, all of those were just bad, like, I don't know, like, you know. Yeah, I talked about how I'm like picking up, like trying shooting at a hoop nearby where I live, and it's like, yeah, like that's fun, man. I put on some music and I'm cool, right? Mostly when there's no one around, when there's no cars nearby because it's in a parking lot, right? But it's like, yeah, like the teachers in the teachers I had, especially in middle school PE, really wanted us to friggin' actively participate and actively do the stuff, right? While in high school, it's like my high school PE teacher freshman year just did not care. He just did not care. You know, you could just stand around and like still, like it literally is like if you dress, like, yeah, in high school PE, you dress up, you get credit. That's it. Except for swim PE, which my school had to do for some reason. It's weird. It was because like my school had a pool, but it's like, I just don't understand like why it's a required thing. I don't understand. I don't know. No, I understand that, like, you know, there's a pool, why wouldn't you utilize it? But it's like, you know, I don't know. What did I do? Stone. I guess I make a stone pickaxe. I don't know. I'm trying to do something, but yeah. Like, what were the things we did in middle school PE? We did this thing called a volley tennis, which is volleyball, except, you know, volleyball's a little too hard for 6th graders, so it's like, you know, it was volleyball, except you could allow the ball to bounce once, you know, like tennis. You could allow the ball to bounce once, and it's like, yeah, not for me. What else did we do? There was a unit where we did like gymnastics somewhat, right? Like there was like we were inside in the gym, and we had to just like we just practiced like rolling around. You know, that was fun. That was the best one. Yeah, what else was there? There was like, oh yeah, there's this thing called pickleball. It was literally called pickleball, which is like a sort of like racket sport. It was a racket sport that we played on like the tennis courts, and it's like there's like a wooden racket like ping pong, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I do not know pickleball. I remember that. What else was there? I'm trying to think. Yeah. The units. Yeah, I think in middle school. Yeah, in I'm thinking like 6th grade, 7th grade. Yeah, we did like soccer. We did friggin' yeah. We did like a version of football. I think. Yeah. We did a unit where we were just like in this thing called like a fitness lab, which was just where like all the exercise equipment was, and like we would just like transition on like each station, right? There's a like a bunch of like weightlifting stations, and like we'd do that. Yeah. And in high school PE there was just like, we did basketball for one moment. We did like soccer, you know, again where you just stand around and do nothing, right? There was one day in high school PE where it's like, I just walked around the gym with a basketball. I just literally walked around the gym with the perimeter of the gym with a basketball. And then, like, that was the day. Oh, man. Nostalgia, man. Nostalgia. Yeah, and of course there was just, like, running, right? In 8th grade, in particular, we did this thing called cross country. You know, like the thing the run was called cross country, and the thing was that like we had to do this sort of like course like around the perimeter of the school, and like in my middle school in particular, there's like a dirt trail that's like kind of pretty much part of the school. Like there's like the outside blacktop area, and the outside blacktop area we would go up to like the track, and then from the track you'd go onto a dirt trail. And from the dirt trail, you'd go out to the side of the school, which is like a street, right? And we'd run all the way out to like the side of the school, right? The side of the school entrance, right? Like outside, and then we'd run outside to the perimeter to the outside street the school is on, and then we would like loop all the way back to the blacktop where you start, and that was cross country. And we had to do that like weekly. Yeah. Oh man. All this stemmed from like the presidential fitness test. Yeah, like why? Like why does it exist? Like what? Like honestly, like what purpose does it serve? Yeah, of just like, I don't know. It is a thing. Yeah. Oh god, that's another thing. Like I'm just bouncing between high school and middle school. In high school, like in high school, okay, like how my high school worked was that you needed 2 years of PE, but freshman PE was mandatory, but it's like after that you have to do 1 more year of PE. But it's like you could get out of doing a year of PE, you could get out of doing like a semester of PE if you do a sport, right? Yeah. Oh man. And like a lot of kids who are athletes just did that, right? They had like, you know, a fall sport, winter sport, spring sport, and like, you know, use that to get out. Yeah, I took weightlifting. Yeah, weightlifting was like my like you know, another easy thing where it's like all you had to do was just like, you know, just be active enough that like you know, occasionally lift weights, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think our teacher had us like wear Fitbits so that they track like how many calories we burned, right? Oh man. maybe it was a thing that like if you passed the presidential fitness exam that you wouldn't have to take a second year of PE, but it's like, yeah, I don't think that was true. But I taught that in freshman year, so I tried really, really hard to pass like all of the things of the presidential fitness exam. Yeah. You have to, you can fail one, right? I think you can fail, you can like, yeah, you can fail one or two, I think, right? Yeah. I think so, right? And it's like, yeah, like yeah, there's a lot of people who tried on the presidential fitness exam, like all parts of it, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, did I think that? I think I remember. Oh god, yeah. Anyways, obviously, like, look man, you might think of me as like this like very like clean kind of like person who just wouldn't do any dirty tactics to frickin' pass things, but it's like, look man, when it comes to the presidential fitness exam, right? You know what I did for the mile? You know what I did? I ran 3 laps. I ran 3 laps instead of 4. I lied about my mile time. I literally lied. And like, yeah, I don't know how. Like, maybe my teacher just secretly knew, but just let me like stop anyway. But it's like, I remember, like, yeah, true. Cause I knew the passing time was like 8 minutes. So I just decided to like, I don't know how I did it. I think it was also that like generally the teacher, was like positive towards me. The teacher was like generally, the teacher generally liked me because I also had him for algebra because that was freshman year. So the teacher like generally liked me. So it's like we run the mile, right? And I guess I just somehow find a way to like run 3 laps, only 3 laps, right? It's a thing. It's a thing that like there's so many kids in the PE class anyway. There's like 40 like something kids, right? There's 40 students. Like how is he gonna keep track of like what lap some people are on, right? It's like it was more like keep track of it yourself, right? And it's like, yeah. And I basically just only ran 3. I only ran 3, right? And yeah, I stopped at 3 and then like I stopped because like they were because like as students finished, like there's like they were saying the times, right? So like a student would finish and be like 7:53, 8:04, 6:27, right? So like I think like I heard the times were getting closer to like 8 minutes, so I just decided to just, I don't know, maybe extend a 3rd lap or like, I don't know. I wonder how long it took me to run the 1st lap. I think it took me like 2 minutes. Yeah. With how fast of a runner I was back in high school. It was like 2 minutes for the 1st lap. Yeah, 2 minutes for the 1st lap, and then like I was a bit slower for the 2nd, so probably like 5 minutes? Like 5 minutes, 5.5, right? And then like I guess like 3 minutes for the like 2.5 to 3 minutes for the final lap of 3 to lie. Yeah, and then I just stopped at the 3rd lap, and my teacher was like, "Fine." I don't think my teacher noticed, or if he did notice, didn't call me out on it. So thanks. And the funny thing is that like I absolutely failed the push-ups, obviously, and I think I failed one other thing, which meant I failed the exam, and like I failed the fitness test, and then like when they were calling up the kids one by one, when he was calling up everyone one by one to go over like whether they passed or not, like he went out, he talked to me and he's like, "You passed the run." You passed the run. Oh man, it's like you did, and I'm like, yeah. You passed the run. You passed the run. Oh man. Oh man. Oh god. No. Yeah, but the push-ups. Should I recount my experience with the push-ups? It's just bad, It's just, having like a lot of freaking body fat is just like, yeah, just being a generally like a not fit freaking person, right? Yeah, like God, should I describe my physical form? My physical form. Am I a VTuber? It's like, what do you, I don't care. Yeah, you said, I posted a video. I posted a video on my, I posted a video on my Raymond on Mango Street channel. Yeah, that's what I look like. Yeah. I think you can tell that I'm not the most fit person, right? I don't know if I've lost or gained weight since then, but look, man, I'm above a certain number, man, Oh, man. But like, I think back in high school I was like I think I maybe was the same height, but like back in high school I was like 170 to 1. Yeah, I think I was consistently like 180, right? There was one moment in maybe like freshman year that I was like 170 something, but yeah, I was like 180, which is still like overweight, but like it is pretty good. But now I'm not that. Now I'm like 20 over 20 pounds of that. It's 20 pounds north of that. So, yeah. Anyways, you could just imagine how it went for me as like, an overweight kid just freaking trying to do the push-ups and just constantly getting told that I wasn't getting low enough, and just like, yeah, I'm trying, man, I'm trying. Should I try to do a push-up right now to see? It's like, it's hard, man. I don't know. It's hard. Oh, man. I wonder how many was the magic number. I think it was like 20? It had to be like 15 to 20. It had to be like, I don't know. Yeah, like to do that many, right? Yeah, like, Yeah, I think he let me go on for like a little bit longer, but yeah. I kept on, he just kept on telling me go lower, go lower, go lower, and I tried to go lower each and every time, just failed. And then and he was like, "You're done." Yeah, so, yeah. Anyways, oh, man. I got all of this stuff on the presidential fitness exam, man. Again, I'm saying it at the exact point that I said it the first time. President Biden, please abolish the presidential fitness exam. It just does nothing, man. It just hurts kids' self-esteem. And for the kids who are already good at it, it's like most of that, like a lot of them are athletes anyway. They don't need the validation, right? They don't need the validation. You don't need the validation that like, hey, congratulations, you're fit, you're healthy. It's like, yeah, of course they are. It's like, of course. They have like freaking like there are kids in middle school and high school who are athletes who do like after school sports, and it's like they pass they do a freaking 6-minute mile, and it's like, yeah, of course you do. Of course. What do you mean? Like, why have that extra thing to validate? It's like, you're fit. It's like, yeah. And it's like, for the people who don't do that, it's like, yeah, I would assume, like they already know they're not fit. Like, what person gets surprised that, like, oh, it took me 10 minutes to run a mile. I'm so surprised. It's like, no, it's like everyone's like, you know, man. Like, these kids know. It's like, stop. Like, oh my God, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I had a very strong dislike towards like PE. I'm fine with it, Like, I watch the NBA now. Are you saying that there are like, fat people who watch sports? Yes. I am one of those people. Are you saying that there are that a lot of people who like watch sports and like complain about it aren't the most freaking fit people in the world? Gee, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. The Weezer song. Say it ain't so. I haven't listened to the Blue album, but Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah, it's like they don't need the extra validation. These kids who are like already freaking so fit and like healthy, they don't need it, man. And like the kids who aren't good don't need the reminder that they're just not healthy and fat and freaking like, they don't need that reminder. I don't know. They don't need it. This is okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Am I being like, yeah. There's a whole thing of like, yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah. I read Fat Chance Charlie Vega, right? And like, there's a whole thing, yeah, of like the distinction between like, just because like someone, yeah, like fat, like, and healthy aren't like, I know fat and unhealthy aren't necessarily like the most like, related terms, right? Like, a lot of things that surrounding the fat acceptance movement are just like, like your body size shouldn't be an indicator of your overall health, right? You know, I understand that, but it's like, you know, I'm just using like fat as a general, like, you know, I don't know. Like I would consider myself fat, like, yeah, generally. Oh man, it's just a term I use to ascribe myself. Okay. Oh man, oh god. Anyways. I was not the slowest runner in middle school. I was consistently like the fifth slowest runner. Oh yeah, oh god. I remember like it was middle school specifically. It was middle school specifically that like we'd have these timed runs, and like as an incentive, like because middle school PE teachers, it's like you guys have to get in at a certain you guys have to all make the certain time. You know, you guys have to all run and finish the run at a certain time, or else everyone is gonna have to, I don't know, do something, or else like everyone has to run again, or everyone, you know, the whole entire class will be, I don't know, punished in some sort of way by like having to do more exercise, right? And it's like I remember just being like the fourth slowest kid, being, you know, somewhat proud of the fact that I was like the fourth or the fifth slowest kid, and then like a faster kid who I kind of disliked, just to be honest with you, who I kind of disliked, just like said to me, "You have to run fast. You have to like run fast." And it's like, again, like like PE teachers, don't do that. Don't like, why, man? It's just such a thing. It's just like of just like making a point. It's like, dude, if you're freaking Coach Eric Taylor on the Dylan Panthers, you can do that. Like, if you're a middle school PE teacher and like you see that there are some like heavier kids who take a lot to run, it's like, don't freaking do that. Don't do that. Like, it's fine, man. Like, God, it just like, I don't know. Like, I'm speaking as if like, yeah, I'm just unloading my PTSD of just like seriously, man. Oh man, I just thought of like probably a very insensitive comment, you know, regarding like, you know, this, because this is all like you know, for boys, you know, because I was in an all boys PE class in 6th grade specifically, and that incident was 6th grade specifically. Oh man, I just thought of something, but you know, I won't say it. I'm polite. You can assume things, but I will not say it. Oh man, it's always just like, God, like why do that? Like it's just such posturing. It's just like we have to make it as a team. We're a class, and we all have to we have to encourage each other to run faster. It's like, no, like we're not a sports team. It's like, dude, this is a freaking middle school PE class. Like, we just want to freaking like what do you want to do in middle school? You want to, like, in 2012? Like, I wanted to, you know, I wanted to go home and watch, like, freaking the Creatures, like, Treehouse series, man. It's like, I wanted to go home and watch, like, freaking The Dominic Show on YouTube. Like, like, you don't need to do that. Oh, man. Like, I wanted to watch Legend of Korra. Like, oh, God. Oh, God. I'm glad I have something to talk about. Oh god. Oh man, I'll just never forget that, of just like, and like, do you want to know the funny thing is that like that kind of worked. Like, it kind of worked what that kid said to me, of just like, you have to run fast, right? It's like, and I'm like, gotta run fast. I can't upset this freaking stupid ass kid who is this freaking like, you know, kind of, you know, like, yeah, kind of jerkish freaking thing to say to just like, you know, the fifth slowest runner. Even like, no matter what no matter like what the speed you run, it's just like, come on, man, that's just not, you know, obviously, like, you know 11, 12-year-old boys, but it's like, come on, man, come on. Just, yeah, I put the blame at the PE teacher, and it's like, don't do that. Like, if you want to be a middle school PE teacher, just don't do that. don't like, yeah. It really is a thing too that like a lot of freaking middle school and high school PE teachers might double as like, coaches, right, for teams, and it's like they teach their PE class like they would coach like a sports team, and it's like, separate it, dude. Like separate it, please. Please, man. Oh my god, dude. Like the power trip of just like, we are gonna have to run again, we're gonna have to run again if you don't make it this time. It's like yeah, true. It's like, you have to run under this time limit, or else like the entire class is gonna have to run again. It's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm just upset. Gee, I don't like running, huh? Yeah, I don't like running. Oh god, I guess this is about, yeah, I guess this I guess this is all a metaphor, right? Yeah, I'm gonna tie it back, but yeah. Anyways, do you know the concept of like people who run, right? And it's like, they're people who enjoy running. Some of them might say that like they get a runner's high, and I'm like, what is that? What is a runner's high? Like what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, a runner's high? Just like, my question is like, for the people who, I don't know, I'm just like really mean. I'm just really mean and cynical, but it's like, look man, the people who enjoy running are of a certain body type. Like, I'm not like freaking, that's not like a outlandish thing to say, right? The people who like running generally, are, more slender, have longer legs, which facilitates, them being able to run farther and faster without getting tired, right? They're longer, right? And it's like, yeah, like they're generally freaking skinnier. They generally are not fat, generally not overweight. They're generally not heavier set. It's like, yeah, they're generally not me, okay? It's like, they generally don't look like me. It's like, yeah, the people who enjoy running. I don't know. Yeah, the BoJack Horseman freaking thing at the end of season 2, just like BoJack is like dying when he's like reaching the top of the hill, and then the guy's like, yeah, and then another kid's like, I know it's hard, but you just gotta do it. He's like, what? He's like, you gotta do it every day. I don't know, man. I can't with running, man. Like running distance, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I understand people who just like, I'm gonna go for a run, and it's like running clears your head. Yeah, like the show, yeah, like there's a show called Atypical, and it's like, is it the character Casey who runs in who's a runner, and it's like, yeah, it's that body type. Like, what do you mean? It's like, it's like the people who get runner's highs are all freaking skinny, man. Like, I get a runner. I'm on a run. I get a runner's high. Running just clears my head. It's like, you're skinny. This is just the most saltiest ass freaking episode I've ever put out. I'm sorry. Oh god. Did I pass gas? I'm sorry. Oh man. Oh my god. It's like, of course you get a runner's high. You're skinny. It's like, yeah, of course. What do you mean? Oh man. Oh man. Dude, if I'm gonna be required to make a twit longer for this, or if I'm gonna be required to like explain myself for like saying something so stupid for this, like, I don't think what I'm saying is like horribly offensive, right? It's like the people who get runner's highs, the people who say they get a quote runner's high, the people who enjoy running, it's like, you're skinny. Just like, oh my god, it's basically, yeah. Oh man, I'm open to being wrong. Look, man, if there's any like, man, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm talking about enjoy running. I'm not like, my point isn't that like the only people who run are like only people who run are skinny people. It's like no. The people who say they enjoy running and say they get a runner's high are generally freaking long-legged skinny people. Like there you go. I said it that clearly, right? I'm clear. Yes. That's what I believe. Okay? Oh man. I'm just so salty, man. I'm salty towards like middle school PE teachers. I'm salty towards freaking the presidential fitness test. I can't, man. Oh man, oh god. How long have I been going, man? What else did I want to talk about? Oh man, yeah, how I was gonna tie it in. It's like, anyways, life is a marathon, not a sprint. And you know, just the fact that I haven't, you know, gotten much to show for, you know, I don't know, the career, just the, you know, I don't know, the general, like, I don't know, career avenue that I decided I wanted to pursue when I was like 18. It's like, yeah, it's only been like 3 years, right? It's only been 3 years since then. It's like, I shouldn't put too much pressure on myself, right? It shouldn't be like, you know, I shouldn't be pressuring myself to, like, I don't know, go so fast, right? And run so fast. Oh, man. Is there such thing as, like, a writer's high? When you're, like, in a really good groove, right? Yeah. I'm sure there's people. There's people who just, like, write. There's people who write, like, frickin', yeah, like, thousands upon thousands of words in, like, one day, right? Over the course of, like, yeah. Yeah, okay, somewhat related to like this whole thing. It's like, you know, yeah, word sprints, right? It's like, I cannot do those. Like, I can't do word sprints because it's like, there's like, I mean, I know the purpose of them is like just turn your inner editor off and just like write. Yeah, turn your inner editor off and just write. But it's like, I don't know. I really can't do that, man. I'm sorry. Like, I write 500 words an hour. Take it or leave it, man. Take it or leave it. Like, you know, when I'm really going, I write 500 words an hour. Sometimes I write like 200 words in like, you know, 2 hours. But, you know, oh man, can write a whole book that way, you know? Yeah, and that's the whole thing, man. That's the whole thing. Like, yeah, like, obviously, like, I would love, yeah, again, I talked about that, like, I would love to write more, but it's like, yeah, like, I don't know, I think it's like, I don't know, I don't push myself as much, you know, but, you know, I guess it's like, if I'm generally happy with, like, the pace I'm going, right, like, I don't feel the need to, like, oh, I need to write more words, I need to write, like, you know, like, if I feel like I've, like, yeah. Because, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, write out entire chapters in one sitting, right? And it's like, I don't do that at all, right? And, like, the chapters I write are all, like, 2,000 to 5,000 words. And it's like, no, I do not write an entire chapter in one sitting. There's people who just write, like, 10,000 words over, like, one weekend, right? And it's like, damn. Anyways, like, writing sprints, yeah. Yeah, like, a writing sprint is just, like, yeah, like, you know, for 10 minutes, yeah, like, you set a timer, and it's, like, 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, the only thing you do is type words, and then, like, at the end of the 10 minutes, like, you know, you see how many words you write. But it's, like, if I did that, it would just be, like, I would write, like, 2. Like, I don't know, like, it really is a thing of just, like, you know, it's obvious a thing that, like, I don't get a sentence, like, where I want it to be on the first try, right? Like, it takes, like, like, I explained it, right? Like, literally, my writing process, right? If I want to break it down to, like, the molecular level is, like, I write a sentence, right? I sound it out in my head, and it's, like, I see, and I'm, like, okay, that sounds good enough, right? I like how that sounds, right? Sometimes I write a paragraph, but it's like, you know, I always need to, like, go back and read it and see if it makes sense, right? I don't know. And a lot of times, like, a reason why I don't make progress for, like, half an hour is that I don't know the following line. I don't know the line I'm gonna write next to follow a certain thing. Yeah. Like, sometimes I get stuck on, like, how to word a sentence, and that'll be, like, 10 minutes, you know, just 10 minutes of, like, how do I word it? So yeah, like I know I could push myself more, but you know, I don't know. I guess I guess I'm just, you know, I'm just satisfied. I'm generally satisfied, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because definitely it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I cut myself off a lot, right? Like definitely during these past few months, right? I've made it a thing yeah, like on the days I write 500 words a day, right? Which I stopped recently. Yeah, I took a little bit of a break. Yeah, I took like a 2-day break from it, but it's like, yeah, I generally was like, I wanted to write 500 words like every time I write, and yeah, I pretty much stuck to that like pretty consistently. Like I started that like March. And then yeah, March, April, May. So like, yeah, my work in progress grew by a significant amount. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna state a specific word count, but you know. Oh, okay, anyways, going back to hating PE. Do you know what's also the worst? Like those kids who take the sport you're doing in middle school PE way too seriously. Yeah. I'm calling you out specifically. Yeah, like, and just in case like a person's watching this. You know, like the zero punctuation review where he was like getting very angry and he's like, yeah, you Adrian. True. I should like do a name like, yeah, you Bradley. Oh man, Bradley. Oh my god. Oh, you know the oh god, again, YouTube references. That's my Zoomer mind. You know, and like one of the how to be videos Ryan Higa put out earlier before he moved to Twitch. You know, way before he moved to Twitch. One of his first YouTube videos was like the beginnings of like the how to be ninja, how to be nerd, how to be gangster, were like a nerdy guy getting beat up, right? By Sean mostly is the nerdy guy and they get beat up, and then they're on the ground, and then yeah, and then they're like, hey, and then a voice is like, hey, you, me, yeah, you, God. I don't know if I'm gonna show the clip to that because I kind of recreated it perfectly. Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Yeah. Anyways, the people who took middle school PE way too seriously. This is specifically a middle school problem, right? Yeah, like, okay, like, you know, take for instance the thing we had to do, volley tennis, right? You know, I guess it like is an unlucky thing, but it's like, I don't know. Obviously, it's like, you know, I give off very like picked last energy, okay? And it's like, somehow I don't know. I feel like in like 6th grade PE in particular, like I got put in the freaking groups who actually wanted to win, like who actually cared about winning too much. Like I feel like the majority of the time I got put into freaking groups who like cared about winning the most, right? And it's like, obviously, like I contributed nothing to that, and right, and then it's just, and then like I always just, it's like they cared too much. It's like, you care too much about like winning. Yes, you do. Look, again, I get it. Like I make a distinction, right? Like I know I'm an NBA fan now, but it's like, look, there's a difference, right? There's just a difference. Like sometimes you just have to realize that it's like, you're in a PE class, right? Like I know, like, you know, getting 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds don't realize that, and it's like you know, it's a good thing to be competitive, but it's like, if you're just like getting to the point like where you're like, oh come on, why are you so bad? Why are you, you know, I may or may not be like recounting my trauma. It's not trauma, but it's just like, you know. Oh man, I get I got some of that unfair. I got some of that treatment of just like, I wasn't you know, I wasn't good at the freaking sport. I wasn't good at the thing. And they're just like, aren't you good? Like, why? Like, why can't you just try it, you know? Oh, man. Yeah, this is specifically like 6th grade in that all boys class, right? I'm just recounting my high school PE trauma. Oh my god. Where's the stone bricks? Where are they? Blocks. This is, oh man, it's just like, oh man, there you go. There you go. I'm gonna do something useful. Oh my god. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just put that here. String, there you go. Bone. Oh man. Yeah, it's just like I got some of that unfair treatment. Yeah, there were quite like a few times where like I was being called out in particular for just like, I don't know, just being bad. Just like I wasn't good at the freaking sport. I wasn't good at volley tennis. I wasn't good at pickleball, right? And it's like, yeah, like, you know, I got placed on teams where it's like the other kids in that team would be like, come on, why? Like, why don't you try more? Like, you know, like none of it ever got to the point of like, you know, like actual like physical teasing, you know, but it's just a general sentiment of just like a bunch of the people I was grouped with were just like, come on, why don't you just try? Why don't you try? You know? And it's like, yeah, like I was trying most of the time, but it's just like I don't know, like I don't know what they wanted, to be honest, right? Like I don't know. It's weird. It's yeah. That was again. Middle school PE, not the best time. Like, I don't know. I liked middle school. I really liked middle school. Like, I like the other classes. You know, I had a good time I generally had fun in middle school. Like, I think like 7th grade more so than like 6th and 8th grade. But it's like I don't know. Middle school was cool. anyways. Yeah, should I? Oh man, I don't know. Like I keep on thinking like, am I revealing too much personal information? But it's like I'm revealing information about like other people, right? Look, man. Okay, there was a kid. There was a kid in my 6th grade PE class who literally said this phrase about me. Okay, he said, I'm being completely honest here. I'm not memeing. I am not memeing one bit. I am not memeing. I'm being 100% honest. I have kept this in my freaking, I've kept this inside for like almost a decade at this point, right? Pretty much a decade at this point. This kid said like when we were like really bad, like I don't know. This kid said like, you know, in response to just like what me being generally just not good in PE, right? At whatever we did, like this kid said, he's just not physically educated. Like, he said that. He said that about me. Like, he said that, like, I'm not physically educated. And it's like, dude, what the fuck does that mean, man? Okay, I swore. Wow. Am I gonna censor that? Nah. Dude, what the hell does that mean, man? What does that mean? Again, I'm, like, getting upset. I'm getting upset at freaking like 6th graders. See, I'm laughing about it now. Like, it's just a general funny thing, but it's like the phrase. It's like he's not physically educated. It's like, yeah, physically educated. Yeah, I'll be physically educated with your freaking mom. Oh man, like I think your mom thinks I'm physically educated. It's like, come on, man. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Oh God. Oh man. I should if I ever find more success, I should just send him an arc. Oh man. Said I'm not physically educated. Well, I'm mentally educated. I don't know. God. I don't know. Is this too mean? I'm sorry. I apologize if this is like too mean. But it's like, I'm recounting a mean thing someone said to me, but it's like, you know, like I'm fine. Yeah. I guess it's a thing, like, yeah, I guess it's like what I'm basically saying with this is that like middle school PE was like one of the very few times in my schooling experience where like I actually was like being teased, you know? I was like being teased, and like, I don't know, people were just like, you know, like a bit mean, you know, like not, yeah, like I really do not want to use the word bullying, because like that's not what it was. Like, it was not bullying at all. Like, I don't see it as that, but it was just like people just being mean for pretty much no reason other than like, oh, you suck at, you know, you suck at the game, basically, right? Let's like, you suck at this, right? And it's like, yeah, I don't know, being in an all boys class in 6th grade PE, like, not the best, to be honest, right? Yeah, and it got better from there, because like 7th grade and 8th grade were co-ed, right? And like, people cared less, right? About being good at like the freaking games we were playing, right? Yeah, and then by like high school, like freshman PE, like no one cared at all. Like no one cared. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, like this is all about how I got stronger from that, okay? Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Oh god. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for unloading my trauma. I keep on saying trauma, like, you know, it's not trauma, but you know. It's not. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like it's just funny. You know, it's just funny like how like 6th grade PE was just so bad. Oh man. Oh man. Anyways. Life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And some people are slow runners, and you shouldn't make fun of those people. And some people get runner's highs off of the marathon you run. And yeah, I don't get those people. Oh man. Yeah. What is like the runner's high anyway? Like the concept of it. Like, yeah, of like what is the feeling exactly? I would assume it's just like, yeah, like I assume it's just like when you like phase out everything, like, right? And it's just like you just focus on like, yeah, like I would assume it's like you don't even feel your legs, right? It's just like you're just, I don't know, like you're just like a moving like blob or something, right? It's like you're moving, but it's like like you feel like you're just not moving, right? I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's how I would describe like a runner's high. Yeah, speaking of running, yeah. Oh yeah. I read a middle grade book. I read Ghost by Jason Reynolds, which is really, really good. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's part of the track series. Yeah, there's like Ghost, Patina, Sunny, Lou, right? And it follows like the story of like this track team of like, yeah, a bunch of newbies on this track team, and like they all have their own stories, right? And Ghost is like the first installment, right? Yeah, Patina's the second installment. Yeah, and I really liked Ghost. Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, those are all names of characters. Yeah. Yeah, it's just nice. It's just a nice, small, little fun story. Yeah, like fun. Yeah, with like serious bits, because that's like what Jason Reynolds does. You know. Yeah, and anyway, like Jason Reynolds. Yeah, I tweeted about this again too. Like Jason Reynolds is such like an author that like I admire, right? And like I feel like in terms of like the personality I would want to be as an author, like I feel like Jason Reynolds is that, you know? Like I kind of look up to Jason Reynolds in that aspect, because it's like, I don't know, he just seems like, you know, a very fun person, right? You know? He's fun but also like extremely insightful, you know? I'm probably not as insightful. I'm not as insightful at all, but it's like the way he like articulates, right? Yeah, and the whole thing, like he loves writing for kids, right? He just loves, you know, like you can tell like in his work that he, you know, his writing is very like, I don't know. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, like it really is like the Avatar isn't just a kid show, but for like books, right? It's like Jason Reynolds, like what he writes isn't you know, specific. Yeah, like he writes for kids, but it's like anyone can enjoy it, right? Yeah. Yeah, and like one of the things he was talking about, I love watching like interviews of him, right? And like one of the things he talked about in regards, he was like being interviewed by a bunch of kids about like, and one kid asked like, how did you come up with like the track series, or like, yeah, and that like, you know, he explained like running really well. He said that like running is basically just fighting against suffocation, right? And it's like, that's so true. Like, it literally is. Like, that's what running is. Like, you're, oh God, you're fighting against suffocation. You're fighting against, like, being unable to breathe, right? Like, this thing you're doing is depriving your freaking body of oxygen, and, like, you do it anyway, right? It's like you're literally doing an activity that is literally lowering your freaking oxygen level, like, by that much, right? And then you have to be like, every time, right? And it's like you're still doing it, right? Yeah. And, like, he also said that, like, running is the first sport that anyone learns, right? Yeah, like yeah, because if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, like, what do kids do, right? Like, kids play tag, like, kids, like, run around and chase each other, right? It's like, that's run. Yeah, like, kids, the first sport you do as a kid is run. The first, like, yeah, a lot of, like, kid activities, like, young kid activities are just running, Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's just so insightful, like, how he taught of that, right? Yeah. Like, just the way he articulated that was just so, like, damn, Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I love Jason Reynolds, man. I just love, like, yeah, I read like a New Yorker article on him. Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know, I just found it in the library one day, and I just, it was like, it literally was like sitting down on the table, and I just decided to read it. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. He's like an older millennial author. Yeah, he was born in the 80s, so yeah. But he's cool. He really is, like, yeah, personality-wise, like, who I want to embody, basically. I kind of wish I was more like him. There was like a presentation I watched where there were, like, yeah, Randy Ribeye was a part of it, where it was like the finalists for the National Book Award got to like read, like, excerpts from their books, right? And, like, middle school kids and high school kids, I think, were invited to it. Yeah, it was like some sort of event where they were the authors did that, right? Yeah. And, like, and then a kid asks a question, and then he's like, I have a question for Ryan Reynolds, and then he quickly corrects to Jason. Then he's like, I wish I was Ryan Reynolds. I wish I was Ryan Reynolds. Oh man, oh god, it was so good. Yeah, and also, like, his story too, that, like, yeah, like, similar to me, that, like, he wasn't interested in reading books until he was a teenager, right? He wasn't interested in reading books until he was like 16, right? He grew up on, like, rap music, right? Like, he loved, like, rap music, and, like, he wasn't, like, yeah, I would assume, like, his writing is very lyrical, in that sense, that, like, the way he writes, he's inspired by rap lyrics, he I think he talked about, like, listening to Tupac and stuff, yeah, listening to rappers, yeah, and yeah, that inspiring him, yeah, and, like, similar to, yeah, and also, like, he talked about, like reimagining, like, the literary canon, right? Yeah, that's also a thing too, of, like, I guess that can be its own topic, right? If I didn't freaking waste it complaining about middle school PE, god, yeah. Yeah, of just, like, how to make required reading, like, better, right? Yeah, and, like, obviously, like, an answer to that would be, like, I don't know, just, like, I don't know, we don't have to, like, get rid of all of, like, the classic books, like, we teach, right? Like, To Kill a Mockingbird, or, like, Gatsby or something. Like, there's value to that, right? There's the whole, like, I don't want, like, why are we only reading books by dead white authors, right? But it's like, I don't know, yeah, like, there's value in those books, right? I think it's more just, like, why are we only using, books from the, like pretty much, like, 100 years ago plus at this point to, like, teach literature, right? Like, why can't literature mean, like, stuff that came out in the 90s? Why can't literature mean stuff that came out in the 2000s, Because there are definitely, like, classics, yeah. There's, like, Bud Not Buddy, there's, like, One Crazy Summer, there's, like, there's like a lot. There's a lot of like children's books. Yeah, like Ghost is also one of them, right? At the back, at the end of like the paperback copy I bought, there's like discussion questions, right? Like Ghost is a perfect like book to read for like elementary schoolers and like, you know, middle schoolers, right? It's like, yeah. Like, why aren't we like teaching more of those? Like, why? You know, like, why does it always, like it's fine. Like, we can have the dead white otters too, but it's like, you know, we could have like living black otters, right? It's like, yeah, we could, like, we really could. It's like, I don't know, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, there's been whole like things of just like, I don't know, just like complaining about like the book list being like only white otters, right? It's like, I don't know, yeah. And like the thing is, like, there's specific like classes focused towards, you know, African American literature, Mexican American, Latin American literature, Asian American literature. Yeah, like we need more of those, right? I think it's important that we like, you know, teach those. Yeah, like Amy Tan and Sandra Cisneros, you know, alongside, you know, Hemingway and frickin', like Hemingway is cool. Like, yeah, or like Flannery O'Connor, or like, you know, Faulkner. You know, I haven't read Faulkner. I read A Rose for Emily, I think, if that's what it's called. Yeah, it's fine. Like we like what if we just remix it, you know? Yeah, like we remix the literary canon rather than like have it be so rigid and just be like, you know, like in ninth grade you read every freshman in America reads To Kill a Mockingbird. Every sophomore reads Lord of the Flies. Every junior reads Gatsby. Every, you know, like everyone has to read 1984 and Animal Farm, right? And, you know, you go on to frickin' tweet on Twitter that something is literally 1984. Even though Brave New World is better than 1984. Even though Brave New World is the more accurate version of the dystopian society we're living in today, you say that something is literally 1984, even though Brave New World is better. Ah, man. Anyways, have I talked about enough? Yeah, reimagining the literary canon, you know? Yeah, Jason Reynolds should definitely be a part of that, right? He was like, yeah, for like a year, he was like the ambassador for children's literature or something. Yeah. Yeah, and also like, yeah, like black authors before him, like, Rita Williams Garcia and like, Walter Dean Myers, you know, which like, you know, set the stage for Angie Thomas and like Nick Stone and like, you know, Tiffany D. Jackson, you know, people like that. I know my authors, you know, I know who's like writing books, right? Yeah. Nicola Yoon and you know, there are others. There are others. Ah, man. Oh, God. They mentioned that, like, it was J. Cole's. Yeah. J. Cole's wrote a book called, Tyler Johnson was here. Yeah. Yeah, he was a 22-year-old author. I think I've talked about him before. When he first published. Yeah. Yeah, there's also, like Justin A. Reynolds. There's a lot of freaking, like, you know, black authors, right? Yeah, because, like, honestly, like, what is a black author in the literary canon of like, required reading that we teach? Like, Maya Angelou? Like, I feel like that's the only one, right? Like, what other, you know, black women do we require, like, is, like, even just, like, sometimes we might, what other? Like, The Color Purple? Maybe? Like, I really am just, like, lost. For just like what, like honestly, Toni Morrison? Yeah, not you do. Yeah, Toni Morrison isn't on required reading lists, right? Yeah. Oh man, I read a book called was it Genesis Begins Again, and like on like the cover, like it said that like this is like, was it like, reminiscent of like The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, but like, you know, for young readers. Yeah, just like more books like that, right? It's like, like books that like, you know, like modern books that are actually inspired by these, like that teach the same messages, right? That like are more suited for, you know, modern day readers, right? And it's like you like, well, readers, like kids who are interested in reading can always go back, you know, and read those books. Like, yeah, like nothing's stopping you from just like growing up and like, you know, like going back and reading like, you know, Steinbeck and like freaking, you know, William Joyce or freaking, I don't know, just like authors. Yeah. Yeah, like all of, yeah, Jane Austen, Emily, Charlotte Bronte, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, like nothing's stopping you from doing that, but it's like, yeah, like we should like really think about like reimagining the literary canon, you know, just adding more authors of color, right? Like I don't know, maybe I would have been way more interested in, you know, reading at an earlier age if I saw like the growing up Filipino short story collection, right? And yeah, it was just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I don't know, like if I found that at 16, maybe I just would have been like, okay, like even more set on like, I wanna pursue uh becoming like, you know, a published author sooner, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing, right? It's really a thing that we should think about doing that, you know. I'm trying to think of like other, yeah, like honestly, what is like a black woman author that's like in the literary canon for required reading? Yeah, it's just yeah, pretty much no one, right? Yeah, it's sad, you know. I really hope I hope Angie Thomas is in that, right? Yeah, I think she's starting to be, so that's good. There's all these other authors of color, yeah. Yeah. Again, you know, the importance of like diversity, right? Yeah, I hope that's, you know, kind of sinking in, that like, you know, it's a thing I think about a lot and like I agree with. Oh man, yeah, I don't know how to stop me burping in freaking recordings. I really do not know how to stop it. anyways yeah, I guess I just cut if it gets really bad. Yeah, I think you're noticing, like, yeah, I feel like if you watch these, you notice a lot more cuts. Yeah, that's on me. I cannot keep hour-long recordings going without those, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and that was the whole thing. I talked about fish cheeks, right? Yeah, it was because I read that in middle school. Yeah, like Gary Soto, right? Like Gary's, yeah, like why isn't like, you know, why, yeah, like Gary Soto has like short stories, right? And like that's also a thing too, that like, you know, yeah, like short stories are taught in like middle schools, right? But like I don't know, like I feel like in literature classes and like English classes, you know, I don't know. I think so. I think, you know, we'd benefit from like, you know, just reading more short stories. Oh man. Yeah, because there will always be like a, yeah, I guess it's like, you know, I don't know, but it's like, for me, I feel like, yeah, obviously, my opinion is that like the focus should be on like a wide variety of like, you know, authors of different backgrounds. If I were to build an English class, right? Yeah, like I would try to be like, you know, I would like to, you know, maybe if I was an English teacher, I would, and I was teaching just like, you know, American literature, and I had the freedom to choose the book list, I probably still would go with like Gatsby and like Catcher in the Rye, but it's like, other than that, like do we really need to teach the Scarlet Letter? It's like, no. You know? Yeah, because the Crucible's better. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, like American literature is so broad. It can mean a lot of things. Yeah. Like, you know, The House on Mango Street is American literature, right? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like I just don't understand like why, you know, like high school English classes are just so confined to that. And like the thing of like, yeah, like it's fostering a generation of just like people, a bunch of people who are not interested in reading, because it's like, oh, we were taught to freaking only read these books. And like, yeah, and I guess the other aspect of it, like we're only freaking for we have to interpret the book a certain way, like to get a good grade to impress the teacher or something. Like I don't know how to solve that, but you know, I stated my opinions on like the, you know, hating freaking, yeah, the curtains were blue phenomenon, right? Which was a thing in hip hop recently, because like a Kendrick fan was like, in the Heart Part 5, Kendrick is placed slightly to the left, because the heart is slightly to the left, and he's like bouncing, which is simulating a heartbeat. And it's like, oh man, the curtains were blue, man. The curtains were blue, but for hip hop. I guess that's also a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I'll talk about Kendrick's album in another episode. Yeah, I guess one thing one thought I had was that like there's obviously the controversial song, one of the controversial songs, Auntie Diaries, yeah, which is like interesting, but yeah, because he opens, yeah, the song like my auntie is a man now, right, and it's like, yeah, like shouldn't it not be called Auntie Diaries then? Yeah, I don't, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people. I think it's like my preliminary opinion, which could change, is that like, it wasn't handled the best, like of like Kendrick, trying to make a song about like, his experience having a trans family member, right? It's not perfectly executed, but it's like, I feel like there has to be some sort of, there's some sort of, I don't know, acknowledgement that like he tried to make a song about it, right? When it's like, like 90% of other like rappers wouldn't try to do that, right? And that he was like brave enough to even like put out a song like that, I think deserves some, I don't know, just some acknowledgement. But yeah, like he could have executed it better, right? And I completely understand people getting offended by, the f words he uses, but the excessive f words he uses. But it's like, obviously, like, take my words like with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm just offering like a tiny perspective on it. Like, obviously, like, I'm not gonna argue with anyone who thinks it's like insensitive, right? It's like, yeah, like, if you think it's insensitive, yeah, then, your opinion is correct, right? Like, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. Like, I'm not, It's the same thing of just like people who find, Dave Chappelle's jokes to be insensitive. Like, I'm not gonna argue with that, right? Yeah, yeah, like I'm with you. Like, I'm with you if you say that, right? It's like I might have like my own like slightly differing opinion on it, but it's like at the end of the day, like I'm, straight, and like I identify as like straight and like, cis, and it's like I don't, yeah, obviously, the people who should have the biggest voice on the issue, those issues are like, the people in those communities, yeah, obviously. And anyway, I got done reading Felix Ever After, another book. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, I might just write a blog post about it. Yeah, I guess I should be wrapping this up soon. Just what I've been reading. Yeah, Felix Ever After was like great. Yeah, my favorite book I've read this year so far. So yeah, the cover is amazing. Yeah, yeah. So basically, anyways, that was a long marathon, and I feel like I did not get a runner's high. I did not. I'm sorry. Oh man, just like, oh god, again, just being like the 5th slowest runner, man. It's like, come on, what was with that kid? What was with that kid being like, you have to run fast, man? Come on. Screw you. Just screw you, man. I hope you're doing well in life, but like, screw you for that comment, man. Screw you. Like, come on, man. Oh god, you gotta run fast. Oh god, Jesus. Oh god. Gee, yeah, true. I can't believe I made like your mom joke. It's fine. I don't mean it. I was just being funny. Sometimes, look, man, I'm sorry. Anyways, that was like a doozy of an episode. So, yeah, episode 32 is in the books. I hope. Yeah. Please. I'm sprinting towards episode 40 and episode 50, man. Hopefully. Yeah, it might not be the fastest, run, but it'll be, it won't be the slowest. It'll be the 5th from the slowest. Yeah, 5th slowest. So, yeah, anyways, I think that's all for this episode. So, yeah, see you next time.